In a world full of science and mystery, a group of young explorers set off on an extraordinary adventure. They had one mission: to learn how to make oxygen, the breath of life. Among them was Emma, a bright scientist with a fascination for chemistry. Alongside her was Alex, a curious inventor, always tinkering with new gadgets. There was also Maya, a nature lover who believed that nature held the answers to everything. The journey began when they heard about a legendary mountain where oxygen was said to flow freely. The mountain was called the Peak of Life, and it was located in a remote part of the world. Excited by the challenge, they packed their bags and set out for the adventure of a lifetime. The trail to the mountain was tough, but the explorers were determined. Along the way, they passed through beautiful landscapes filled with lush forests and flowing rivers. "Look at how green the trees are," Maya said, marveling at the beauty of nature. Alex, always the inventor, pulled out his notebook and sketched the trees, thinking about how plants made oxygen. "Photosynthesis," Emma explained. "Plants convert sunlight into energy and release oxygen." As they walked, they discussed the process in great detail. "We need to recreate this process if we want to make oxygen ourselves," Emma suggested. The explorers decided to stop by a peaceful lake to rest for the night. The night sky was filled with stars, and they sat by the campfire, talking about their goals. "Tomorrow we reach the mountain," Alex said with excitement in his voice. Maya looked up at the stars, inspired by the vastness of the universe. "Oxygen is everywhere, but understanding it is like unlocking a secret of the stars," she whispered. The next morning, they continued their journey, and soon the towering Peak of Life came into view. The air grew thinner as they climbed higher, reminding them just how precious oxygen really was. As they neared the summit, they found an ancient laboratory built into the mountain. "This must be it," Emma said, her heart racing. The door creaked open, and inside, they found dusty old equipment and books about chemistry and biology. On one of the tables lay a large book titled, "The Science of Oxygen Creation." Alex opened the book carefully, flipping through pages filled with complex diagrams. "This is it," he said, "the key to making oxygen." They spent hours studying the book, fascinated by its explanations. The process involved using water HO and separating it into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis. "We need electricity to split water into oxygen and hydrogen gas," Emma explained. Alex quickly began building a simple electrolysis machine using the materials they found. Meanwhile, Maya collected water from a nearby stream, understanding its vital role. With everything ready, they connected the machine to a small power source. "This is it," Alex said, his hands trembling with excitement. The machine hummed, and soon, bubbles of gas began forming in the water. "Look!" Maya shouted, pointing to the oxygen bubbles rising to the surface. They had done it, they had made oxygen. The air filled with excitement as the explorers realized they had just unlocked one of nature's greatest secrets. But the journey wasn't over yet. Emma flipped through more pages of the book, finding instructions on how to store and use the oxygen. "If we can store it, we can help people breathe in places where oxygen is low," she said. Maya nodded, thinking of the high-altitude regions where oxygen was scarce. Alex worked on building a small container to trap the oxygen safely. Once it was done, they filled it with the precious gas they had created. "We've made oxygen from water," Emma said proudly. The explorers stood on the mountain, looking out at the vast world below them. The wind blew through their hair as they took in the significance of their discovery. "This could change everything," Alex said, already thinking about future inventions. "We could create oxygen in space, underwater, or even on other planets, Emma added. Maya smiled, knowing that this discovery would help protect nature for generations to come. The explorers decided to bring the knowledge back to their world, eager to share it with others. On the way down, they discussed how their discovery could help improve life on Earth. Imagine the impact on hospitals, high-altitude climbers, and people in remote areas, Maya said. Or even astronauts exploring new planets, Emma added. The possibilities seemed endless, and the explorers felt a deep sense of accomplishment. As they reached the base of the mountain, they were greeted by a group of villagers. "You've been to the peak of life?" one villager asked in amazement. "Yes," Alex said, "and we've learned how to make oxygen." The villagers were stunned and gathered around to hear their story. The explorers shared their knowledge, explaining how anyone could create oxygen from water with the right tools. The villagers listened with wide eyes, understanding the significance of this discovery. Emma demonstrated the electrolysis process, showing them how easy it could be. The villagers were amazed when they saw the oxygen bubbles forming in the water. "This will change our lives," one villager said, filled with gratitude. The explorers felt proud of the difference they were making. They spent several days teaching the villagers about the science behind oxygen creation. Soon, the entire village was able to create their own oxygen. The explorers knew they had started something truly special. As they prepared to leave, the villagers thanked them with gifts and blessings. "You've brought us the breath of life," one elder said with tears in his eyes. The explorers felt humbled by the experience, knowing they had made the world a better place. Their journey home was filled with reflection and new ideas for future adventures. "We should continue exploring and discovering," Maya said as they walked. "There's so much more to learn," Emma added. "And so many places to go," Alex chimed in. As they returned to their homeland, they were welcomed as heroes. People from all over came to hear their story and learn about oxygen creation. Scientists and inventors were inspired to build new machines and technologies based on their findings. Emma, Alex, and Maya became known as pioneers of a new age of discovery. Their journey to the peak of life became a legendary tale told across the world. They were invited to speak at conferences, universities, and global summits. It all started with a simple idea to learn how to make oxygen, Emma said in one of her speeches. The world celebrated their achievement, but the explorers knew this was just the beginning. They continued to work on new projects, each one pushing the boundaries of science and nature. Their next mission was already forming in their minds. "What if we could make oxygen on Mars?" Alex asked one day. Emma smiled, always ready for a new challenge. Maya looked at the stars, thinking of the endless possibilities the universe held. And so, the explorers set off on their next great adventure, knowing that the journey never truly ends. The discovery of how to make oxygen was only the first step in a lifetime of exploration. Their story became an inspiration for generations to come. Children in schools learned about their journey and dreamed of becoming explorers themselves. The world was forever changed by the knowledge they had uncovered. And as the years passed, the explorers continued to inspire, teach, and discover. Their love for adventure never faded, and neither did their passion for learning. They knew that as long as they were curious, the world would always have new secrets to reveal. The journey of creating oxygen had taught them that anything was possible with determination and curiosity. And with that, they set their sights on the stars, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The journey of life, like the journey of science, is always evolving, always growing, and always full of wonder. The end.